good couple days. I'll be seeing you on Friday, and Deb's coming in now. So, oh, she's recording them at. Hey, you got your recording set up. That's good.
Yeah.
How you doing, Deb?
All right. I'm tired too. I'm like
Yeah, I'm wiped.
grandson's grandson first day of school was today, and
Oh, already?
yes,
Good grief.
already.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
it's time. I mean, it's like I'm thinking, okay, we're midway through August, but we got another week. August is still we still got August is it's like one of those. It's such a long month, but when you're in the month, the days fly by, right?
yeah, it's crazy how fast time's going.
So, so are you having a heat wave too?
Nope, nope, not yet. It's supposed to start again next week. We've had a cool about a week, and for August, it's bizarre because this is our hot month, and I think it only got up to 86 today. It's 61 right now, which is weird. I think it got down the 50s, low 50s last night, but
Well,
I'll take it for a while.
they're telling us that we're supposed to get. I mean, of course, the weather is, predicting heat wave for the next 2 weeks. I think week or two, and
Oh,
I saw somewhere. I saw there was a video going around that can't remember the name. It's a small town. It looks like. It starts with a P. It's somewhere around Santa Barbara or something, San Francisco or somewhere. Anyway, they shut off the water for the farmers.
I heard about that.
Uh, and
No
I'm
reason
thinking,
for it.
well, they're shutting off the water. Oh, well, heat wave. Oh, we need to stay hydrated. Wonder why there's, you know, is it more to, is there more to it than just shutting off the water for the farmers? They need
A
it for their
land grab
crops.
because it's a land grab because everything's going to die and they'll lose their businesses. It's a big land grab. It's all
Well,
coming from the UN.
well, think of it this way too. How many people die of heat stroke? If you don't have water,
They
you
don't
can't
care.
hydrate
They
it.
want you, they want you dead. So that's a win-win in their opinion.
Well, and I just found out a while ago that the base is they're quote unquote supposed to be shutting off water because they have to repair something. You know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens because what they're going to try and do probably is get federal money. The US aid money got shut off. Trump's not sending them money, and Newsom is desperate for money. Um, Trump's not going to give it to them because what they do when they get all that money coming in, like for the rail system, they steal it.
Yeah.
They steal it all, and they don't use it for anything it's earmarked for. Nobody ever questions them, so they keep doing it. But and all the U.S. aid money was all free money. Nobody ever checked up. They didn't even know it existed. So all the
Mm-hmm.
trillions of that was shoved in their pockets. How do you think Newsom got a winery? How do you think he got all these homes? They're all in on it. And President Trump knows about it. And I think this stuff's coming to an end. But now they need money in order to buy judges and buy uh, lawyers to try and fight what's coming. And President Trump knows what they're doing. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
all money. It's all about the
Well,
money.
I mean, they're supposed. Oh yeah. Did I know you played Jack Hibbs earlier? Did he say how his because he took a bus up to Sacramento yesterday on the 19th to fight against the Assembly Bill 495. Has anybody heard? I haven't heard anything about what
Yes, yeah,
happened.
he said, what was it? The New York Times said 200 people showed up. He said, going by estimating how many people his church holds, he has estimated there to be about 6,000 people there, which is pretty big. Should have
Yeah.
been bigger, but that's still pretty big.
Well, I know
It sent a
that. I know that one of the churches here, Godspeak, Calvary Chapel, Godspeak, was taking a caravan of people too. They were like,
yeah, there were a
they
lot
were going to
there.
carpool. So I'm like,
Well, back in the day, they used to say that when a legislator got a letter, one letter represented 1,000 people because so few people write. And it's got to be even less now. So when you've got that many bodies showing up to the state house, 6,000 representing 1,000 people each, that's a lot of people.
yeah,
I'd say it's even more. It's more like 10,000 people, I would think now. So yeah, people are pissed. Not everybody can afford to go. Some people had to work. Some people, there's a lot of reasons for them not to go.
yeah.
But there was a lot of praying.
I'm one of those that have to work right now. The way
Yeah.
the whole because of the funding, which is I'm kind of curious because they've been the school system that I work with, the school district, they rely on grants, right? And they
Hmm.
didn't get grants this year, so they're scrambling trying to figure out how to do the after school program, and so the county or the school district, you know, doing whatever, getting creative with their money. So it's
Well, that's what they get for stealing. If
I
they hadn't
agree.
stolen all the other money, I mean, there'd be tons of money to go around if they just stole every penny that came through. And it's disgusting what they've done. Oh, look at the school board in Sacramento that stole, I can't remember how much money it was. And when people caught them, they just all resigned.
Yeah, yeah.
They need to be in jail.
I actually read an article about that too a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. So they know how to handle people and that they know, but I think those days are coming to an end. I think people, once they realize the extent of the corruption, they're not going to have enough jails for everybody. Because, like I said, even the school board, holy crap, everybody, they're all just stealing like crazy because they found out, where does a crook go? The
Yeah.
safest and most rewarding place is politics
Well, one of
because
them,
get out of jail free cards all the time.
yeah, and one of the members was a nepo baby. She was. It
Mhm.
was. I can't remember. She was the daughter of. Oh gosh. The chairman, I think.
Yeah, they're all, yeah. Well, it's a good scheme, isn't it? I heard that Crockett lost her seat. I don't know if that's true. Did you hear about that? Dynamax posted it, so it's probably true.
Yeah, I saw something about that. I thought that they actually passed that remapping a couple of weeks ago, where the devs were still leaving. They were still AWOL, but I guess they had to make it formalized or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
there's
I'm kind of confused because there was another report today saying that it got voted and it got passed, but I'm like, I thought it happened 2 weeks ago,
they
and of
all need to
course,
be in jail.
and the Democrats, of course, I bet, or who, even Ken Paxton, I think. I don't know unless because Ken Paxton filed, was it that he filed? He filed some paperwork
Filed a
get
couple things. Yeah,
to get their seats vacated. I know people say,
yep,
"Well, he can't just fire them. He can't do that. He can't, you
he
know,
can.
he can't
He knows
arrest
what he's
them."
doing.
I'm like,
Yes, they can. It's dereliction of duty. They broke their oath. They weren't doing their jobs. They broke the law and they broke their oath, and it was a major Muslim that was at the head of it.
yeah, well, and it was I need to read the Texas Constitution about that, but yeah, I think it's in the Texas Constitution he can do it. But of course, you're going to have an activist judge that's going to try to stonewall it or block it.
Well, you've got your governor that says I may I may seek or not reparations. I may seek punishment for them. He said that when this whole thing's first fired up, and I thought, you may. That tells me you're not going to.
Well,
You stinking
I
traitor.
already,
He's a traitor.
he didn't have to say anything. I already knew because he did the same thing last 4 years. Because the last time I remember was 2000. Well, they said that they did it in 2021. They did it in 2023 in special session because they did, well, one of them, the first, I think in 2021, one of them had to do with the voting because they were doing voting reformations. And, uh, and I knew, I mean, if he didn't do it the last two times, he's not going to do it this time. I just knew that. And of course, someone's backlash. Well, he's got the backing of President Trump. I was like, that doesn't matter. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do diddly, you know? And
Yeah.
I knew it. He didn't even have to open his mouth, and I knew it. He wasn't going to
He's a
do anything.
leftist. He's a leftist that ran as a Republican. And because people are lazy and didn't look up his history, he got in.
Well,
Uh, he's a
I,
dirtbag.
well, the thing is you really didn't really have much of a choice. It was to, you know, the choices that you have. Of course, I don't think Lieutenant Colonel Alan West is that much different either.
No, nope.
Because I mean, I would have supported him, but when he came out, you know, when his wife got pulled over and the way he took to that to the public, and when I found out that he was inducted into the Knights Templar,
Oh, was he?
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, I'm like that. To me, I thought, okay,
That's all you need. That's all you need to know.
that's not a good, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's not how you start out. That's just like, yeah. That's why people need to do their research when they vote, because if you know what these people are, you would never vote for them. They put
Oh,
on a three-piece suit and big smiles and shake your hand and tell you they're a Republican and they're for freedom and they're for guns and they're for the Constitution. And it's all mouth, it's all lip service.
well,
They know how to get people.
I even reached out to his campaign to see if he would do an interview with me, and never got a response. But that, I guess, is par for the course, because I don't know how many times Mo has reached out to people and not gotten responses to.
Yeah,
So,
you can ask them for a press packet. Sometimes they'll give you that, and it'll give you some links on how to get a hold of them.
mm, but yeah, when I
Yeah.
found it, when I saw that, I mean, he even put it on his Facebook page and saying, "Yeah, look at me, I have been
I'm
inducted."
surprised he did that. That's interesting that he was bragging about it. Stupid.
I'm going to defend, you know. Is like, do you really not know what the Knight Templar's all about?
They know. They know. They're hoping you don't. It sounds very official, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there that a lot of bad people in DC. It's a spiritual war. It's Q talked about it, President Trump. I mean, it's a spiritual, definitely a spiritual war. I thought it was interesting when a bunch of witches were trying to go after Trump. I'm trying to think who, President Trump, I'm trying to think who it was that said it. They said, this is about 3 or 4 months ago, they said, we have been trying to get to him through our incantations and blah, 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 whatever it is witches do. And they said, he's got some kind of protection over him and we can't get to him,
I thought that was in
which is
his. I thought that was in his first administration. I know that they were
no,
really
this.
coming. I
No, they
have.
did it then too. They're still doing it. I'm sure they said once a month on a certain day they were going to be praying for his demise. But no, this was something recent. I'm trying to think who it was. They were really upset because they didn't understand why they couldn't get to him because they could get to other people. And Jack Chick talked about they can actually manifest physical things and
Yeah.
transport physically to harm people. It's kind of interesting what
Well,
powers
that
they can get.
that would almost explain why, if you go to social media, you see the comments that they talk about. You know, well, whenever he's gone, you know, and I'm paraphrasing because they use different language, and I don't want to use that language, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he needs to go, and what have you, and um, I mean, it's an all-out call to do away with him. And did you see that one lady got arrested for posting something on Facebook about uh, you know doing the A word for to President Trump? Pam Bondi had her arrested.
No, I haven't been on the internet much. I've been really busy.
I I all this. I mean, I pretty much have tried to get away from the news just because of the fact that it's all it's all theater, you know. It's
Yeah,
all it's all to wake up the masses, but it's like until I mean there are low hanging fruits. I mean it's rolling up. If you're paying attention, it's rolling up. Gosh, I can't remember who. Let's see, some Congress was it Congress or mayor or somebody has just been arrested. So it's rolling up. It's rolling
things are,
upwards.
yeah, things are happening. People might not think they are, but they are. I watch, if I get a chance, I'll watch Bondi or, somebody like that that's giving a speech. Um, I'll try to catch that stuff if I have time, put it on while I'm working. But what is that? Is that a bird?
Hmm. I don't know.
I heard something weird. It sounded like a mina bird or something. Anyway, yeah, I'll do that. But really, I just lately I'm trying to get things done outside before the cold weather hits, and we're supposed to get an early fall. I've been hearing geese for the last 2 weeks, and that's really weird for the middle of August. So
That's
I
a
just figured we'd
prophetic
probably get it.
sign. That's a prophetic
Yeah,
sign.
they know. It's like the birds know. And plus, I went outside yesterday. That it had been overcast. We've been getting the living daylights chemtrailed out of us, so I know that. And I've been looking at the clouds. We've got foretelling of certain clouds that say, they'll tell you if it's going to rain in a few days or not, and they're there. And so everything's kind of overcast. And then the sun came out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like end of September. It's really weird. And this weather guy was saying we'll probably get our first frost towards the end of September. I'm like, no, that's too soon. No.
Well, excuse me. Um, that's like, was it a week or so ago? I went outside and I looked. It was like morning, and everything looked green. I mean, the air looked green. Everything just green.
Yeah, that's usually a tornado.
I know it was like this weird, and that's like the roses. The roses this year came out in May instead of March. The last 2 years we've been here, the roses were
Huh.
out in March, and the birds were singing in March. And this year it was been really late, and it was funny when we first moved. The backyard was like practically dirt and nothing, and then in 2023, 24, the grass would get so tall and wet, but the surface would look green and lush. But if you once you mowed it,
Hmm.
everything on the bottom, the roots were all brown. So it's like
That's weird.
I wonder what's poisoning the soil. And now it's back to dirt. We haven't had to even mow because it's dirt.
Ours does that here where I live. It'll be really green for about a month or so. Everything's green, and then the weeds start popping up, and you mow them, and then it's usually by July it's hot enough that nothing grows. You'll have a few tufts of alfalfa here and there that have really deep roots, but for the most part, everything's dried up and dead.
Mm.
But yeah, summer did fly by. It's almost over, so. I hate winter. It's like, cold weather's coming. That means I got to get all my wood in. I got to chop wood. I can't leave the house in the winter because I have to keep the stove going.
Does
So
it
I'm
get
stuck here all winter.
how cold
Hmm?
does it get?
Well, usually an average is around, oh, we'll get snow that'll be here. Depends on the year, but we can get snow that it might be 32 degrees or 30
Whew.
degrees for a month. Or we can get like last year I never even used my snowblower. It did snow and stayed on that. We had like maybe 8 inches of snow and a big snowfall, and I just didn't go anywhere. And by the time it came time to go somewhere, it was all gone. But
Mm.
the rain, if it's a nice rainy winter, which it doesn't happen very often, but I sure like a warm, I mean, it beats snow any day. But
Mm.
yeah, we get down like our weather patterns have changed so that our cold weather, we always get like a week or two of super cold weather in the winter. Usually the last week of December, first week of January. Sometimes it'll shift to like the second week of January, but this year it was February, like the middle of February, which was really weird. 25 below zero in February was
Oh
strange.
wow! I tell
And
you
we can
what,
get that cold randomly.
I think I think last 3 years is probably the coldest has probably been around 50. I'm like, oh, and it's a different cold. But I've said it before. It seems like
You've got the marine air where you're at, and that's bone chilling.
yeah, when we
50
first moved.
degrees can be very, very cold in Southern California.
Yeah. Well, I
Hmm.
mean, when we moved here, it's like 7 degrees felt like 60 to me, you know? But this week, with the heat, and
Yeah.
then of course it drops down to around 60, 65 in the evenings. I guess the humidity's been up because it just like the last couple of days, it's like, it still feels hot to me. I'm like, and we got the air, I mean, because the house that we're living in, it's it was built, when the base was built, so it was built like in the 40s. So when the
40s. Yeah. No insulation.
well, it's not so much that as they don't have any air conditioning. They didn't do it with the air conditioning because they said, "Oh, you just open up the windows and the doors and you let the cool, air from the Pacific, was it the Pacific Ocean? You know, you get the air, the breeze from the Pacific Ocean just to keep things cool." But when that sun is hot, I mean, sometimes it's cooler outside than it is inside
Yeah. It's like
because of
that
the
here a lot.
breeze. Hmm.
Yeah. Like I opened my windows up in the bedroom. It was still 80, some 85, 86 degrees, but I opened them up. And then down here, I put a fan in the kitchen window and keep it open. It'll usually circulate it through. Right now, it says it's 60 outside, which is very weird for this time of year. Usually, I mean, in August, it's usually like 90 degrees at 11 o'clock.
Mm.
It can be very warm at night, but yeah, it's not like that right now. Pretty cool. But yeah, that having the fans, those little double fans, one that blows in and one that blows out. My lawyer had one of those, and I stayed at his house long time ago, and he had one of those in the bedroom window. And I'll tell you what, it worked really well. It made that bedroom anything cool outside, man, it would suck it right in. I was shocked
Yeah.
at how well those things work.
Yeah, that's what we use. That's what I use, and it's just you got to find the right combination because sometimes if it's cool outside, all I have to do is bring it inside. If it's like hot, like it gets up to 80, um, I have to do the in and out, the exhaust. I mean, there have been
My
times.
bedroom has been, huh?
I was just going to say that there have been times when it was so cold I had to actually do it the reverse to go out to
Yeah,
blow out because it was so
yeah.
cold, and it's just so cumbersome to take it out of the window, and then when you want it again, got to put it back in the window and try to uh, you know um,
Yeah.
seal it, so that it's got half a seal, or to slide it in there that it. Let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? It fits, So, so
Yeah,
how
my
much longer?
bedroom's been 80 degrees for the last several nights, and I'm like, it's almost cold to me. I'm getting, because I climatize to the heat really well, and I'm like, I looked at I thought, man, I've got to chill, and I looked at the temperature in the room, and it was 80, and I'm like, oh crap, summer. I'm mourning summer's loss already because I know I'm gonna freeze when the cold weather gets here.
I'd rather freeze than burn up. I
Oh
tell
well.
you what, it just.
Not me. Not me. I like the summer. That's like if I have to sell this place, I'd move south because I I wouldn't move to Texas because that's ridiculous. That's too darn hot down there. I know people that live there and they're cussing out the triple digit heat for like 9 months out of the year. That's a little bit too extreme. I don't mind, like I can do 90. That doesn't bother me. That's but humidity, yeah, like Pano said, 92 degrees and 99% humidity is exhausting.
Yeah. Or well, what's bad is when it's when you're in the shade and it's hot and the air is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of
Oh,
course,
when I lived in Florida, the first year I lived there, I didn't have any air conditioning. And I remember sitting there trying, I was trying to distract my mind from things. I was drawing pictures, and I was sweating so badly. And I don't sweat; it takes a lot to make me sweat. But I was hot and just pouring sweat off, and I had to keep drying my hands off on paper towels because my hands were sweating. And I was trying to do a charcoal drawing. But I remember that that was miserable because I couldn't afford air conditioning. I had it, but I couldn't afford it, so
well,
I just dealt with it.
that's one of the first. Let's see, I think this is when the if you want to say quote climate change kind of pushed back in 1983, and I'll never forget it because our air conditioner went out and we were living in North Texas. We were living by Abilene, close to Abilene, about an hour and a half away from Abilene, and and our air conditioner went out, and it was one of the hottest summers. People were dying of heat stroke in Dallas, and we literally all we had were the ceiling fans in our bedroom, and I literally had to sleep in wet bed sheets just to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
somewhat
yeah.
cool.
I learned to sleep with a fan in Florida when I didn't have the air conditioning. I just kept a fan going because I used to not be able to stand any kind of noise because it would keep me up. And it took me a while to get used to a fan. But once I did, when I came back here, I couldn't sleep without a fan noise. It was strange. Yeah. Well,
Since
anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go to bed. I'm wiped. I'm falling asleep here with you're gonna slobbering and snoring on my microphone.
yeah.
So I'm gonna get out of here. But anyway, you have a great show and much love to
Thanks.
everybody out there. Keep cool, keep warm, whatever it takes. So I will see you guys Friday, God willing. And Deb, have an excellent show.
Uh,
And thanks for the great conversation. I wish I was more
yeah,
alert.
I hear you.
So yeah, see
All
you
right.
later. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night. Sons of Liberties, 30s at times, cold for southern people, sweatshirt weather for us northerners. I tell you what, 60s and 50s, are short weather for some of us southerners. Let's see. Let's see. I'm reading chat before I took it. Oh, wool blanket. Oh, I can't deal with wool blankets. They're too itchy. It's almost being like allergic to wool. All right, everybody. I really don't know what to do tonight. I thought about going over things that I did last week because guess what? When I got knocked off, I stopped recording and I didn't think to check the recording. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got off and I realized I didn't record, so I didn't put it on my Rumble. So I'm not sure what to do about tonight. And I mean, we could go over a Q post. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to do AWK again. Um, and I give up. I'm stubborn, but even I have a breaking point where it's not worth getting kicked off of Zoom every time I try to do a live show. I'm going to have to figure out how to use OBS, I guess, to do a live show until some things. Hey, Kinsley Wren. Until some things change and I'm able to get another computer or something, I'm just gonna have to. I'll just have to deal with it. So anyway, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the show opener, and if you want to give me some suggestions for the next 2.5 hours. And maybe I'll do some deltas and stuff, and maybe we can see. There are a couple of things I do want to go over real quick, but we'll see. Alright, in the meantime, you guys get the player up, and I shall return.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all of the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all the perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, and willfully so, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Amen.
Father God, I ask now for an impartation of your Holy Spirit. May the fullness of the Spirit of Jesus rest upon President Trump, that he be anointed with wisdom and understanding, with your counsel and might, with knowledge and fear of the Lord. And accordingly, may President Trump not judge by what he sees with his eyes, or decide by what he hears with his ears, or lean on his own understanding, but may he recognize your prompting and move according to your guidance. I ask that you give the President supernatural discernment to know who is trustworthy and who is not. Bring into the light all deception and intrigue. Expose and reverse the plans of those who would harm President Trump and this nation. In the name of Jesus, I break off all voices and influence that do not come from you, Father God. May your truth and peace surround and reign in the White House. God, you have raised up President Trump to govern at a time when there is a resurgence of oppression. Only you, Lord Jesus Christ, can anoint him to have victories over strongholds and to establish justice for the needy. Give him strength and courage to persevere in the constant battle that surrounds him, and refresh him. Father God, I see that you have such a tender heart for President Trump. Draw him close to you. I ask now for an impartation of hunger for you, so that he may love you with all his heart, soul, mind, and strength, and delight in knowing you. And if he came and whisper your name, may he go forward shouting your name. In Jesus' name, in the name of my King, I bless you.
Okie dokie, that is the prayer. Okay, so there are a couple of things I want to go over, and it really stinks that and I apologize for the visual and the audio not being in sync. So anyway, how is everybody this fine Thursday morning, Wednesday evening? It's still Wednesday my time, so. And I came across this today earlier, so I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, hi, Just a Pug, good evening. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. I missed acknowledging you earlier. Since I don't have my other my laptop anymore, so I'm not able to. I'm not able to see Vaughn anymore. Okay, so I came across this today, and unfortunately, it wasn't in a shareable way, so I couldn't. I have to read it. So this ought to. So here's some fast facts. The WEF, the World Economic Forum, admitted that climate change and the pandemic didn't work. So the next global agenda will be a manufactured water crisis. What was it that Chris and I were just talking about? You know, they're turning off water and some of these farmer valleys, you know, trying to get rid of the crops, and you think about the heat wave, people having heat waves and it being so hot. Anyway, so the WEF economist Mariana Mazzucato admitted they couldn't achieve global compliance and vaccinate the whole world, but may have better luck with a water crisis. I mean, we all need water, right? Remember, we gotta hydrate. You know, some people, it's either hydrate or get sick or get heat stroke. And globally, did we solve that? Did we actually manage to vaccinate everyone in the world? No. So this is a quote from this person, okay? No, so highlighting water as a global commons and what it means to work together out of that kind of global commons perspective, but also the self-interest perspective. It's important because we haven't managed to solve those problems, and water is something that people understand. Climate change is a bit abstract. We all know that climate change is nothing more than another scam. Some people understand it really well. Some understand that a bit, some just don't understand it. Water, every kid knows how important it is to have water when you're playing football and you're thirsty, you need water. So there's also something about getting citizen engagement around this in some ways, experimenting with the common good. Can we actually deliver this time? Mazzucato making the comments at one of the World Economic Forum's gatherings in 2022, where she talked about globalizing water and essentially testing a crisis with water to see if it would be successful in global compliance. Something she said hasn't achieved through climate change or the C-19 vaccinations. Critics say this highlights global overreach and the ability for unelected experts to grab control of resources by manufacturing a crisis with the justification that is for the common good. Oh yeah, you mean like when they, like your wildfires or your earthquakes or any other thing that they can come about? Let me see what I have here. I don't remember, let's see, oh yeah, speaking of that, I don't remember if I actually talked about this last time. This was LA, this was back on August the 9th. So long stretches of Malibu's oceanfront property where 340 homes were ravaged by January's wind-fueled inferno. Oh, this is another thing too. You were saying about the heat wave. It means that conditions are prone for another fire. They really want to burn down California, but if you look at it in the spiritual sense, God uses water and fire as a cleansing agent, to get rid of the impurities, so that there's a rebirth or regrowth. So is that what's happening here, or is it that God's using, because God can use whatever he wants to promote his agenda, or is this a way where he brings beauty out of the ashes, So, let's see, long stretches of Malibu's oceanfront property where 340 homes were ravaged in January's wind-fueled inferno have been snatched up by a single anonymous overseas buyer, according to Realtor.com. Yeah, I wonder if this is closer to Santa Monica, because I don't remember. I never got close enough over in this area to really see all this destruction. I still would like to get over there sometime, since they opened it up back in May and during Memorial Day weekend. So in the wake of the devastating wildfires that raced down the Malibu coastline, a mystery foreign investor has snatched up a large swath of burn-charred oceanfront property, according to a startling new report by Realtor.com. I wonder if that's the reason why they have been slow-walking the rebuilding the permits. The investor is using the Weston James Group to anonymously buy stretches of the fire-ravaged property, according to the story. So far, the investor had purchased 9 large lots, plunking down $65 million for the chance to rebuild oceanfront mansions like the ones devoured by the Palisades fire in January, a blaze that also killed a dozen people. Among the victims were 3 residents of Malibu. So did we ever really get an official body count of people who actually, isn't that interesting that a fire so devastating and less than 10 people were killed? The monstrous blaze, so I like it when they use those hyperbole words, right? The monstrous blaze began, instead of just saying the blaze began, the monstrous blaze began in the Santa Monica Mountains, and by the evening on January 7th, it was a molten hurricane that tore down the chaparral-covered canyons from the Palisades and hopped the Pacific Coast Highway toward the sea. When it was finally defeated, the fire had devoured 340 waterfront homes in Malibu and another 397 structures nestled closer to land. Oh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. You almost look at that. That almost looked like lightning streaks. Or chemtrails, more chemtrails. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which is the lead investigative agency leading the probe into what sparked the wind-fueled inferno, has not yet determined a cause, according to CAL FIRE. A spokesperson for the agency did not return emails or phone calls from Los Angeles about the status of ATF's investigations. You loot, we shoot. Malibu Mayor Mary Ann Riggins, who was appointed to the position in late April, told Los Angeles in June that it would be nice to find out where the source was. In the meantime, the mayor says the city is committed to helping 13,000 displaced residents rebuild. But the process is arduous and costly, especially along the Pacific Ocean, according to the city's recovery site, Malibu Rebuilds. The city estimates permit approvals can take 12 to 24 months, and coastal construction has more complicated restrictions than inland projects. I know and I think I mentioned this last time when we talked about this, or I went over this, when Hurricane Harvey hit this Texas Gulf Coast, there was a little town, we call it Port Aransas. That little town was practically wiped out, and it took them well over 5 years to rebuild. And there were still places. I think it hasn't. I don't think it's fully recovered yet, even after almost 10 years. It's been 8 years. Gosh, now that I think about it, I think next week will be the 8th anniversary of Hurricane Harvey, because it happened right around Labor Day. It was like the last week of August. So far, only 41 permits to rebuild have been approved in the entire city, according to Malibu Rebuilds. Not a single certificate of occupancy has been approved. On February 13th, 2025, Newsom, the governor of California, Nancy Pelosi's little nephew, issued Executive Order N 2025, which suspended requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act and California Coastal Act for Palisades fire rebuilds and related issues, which has not helped hasten rebuilds. So that's it. Yeah, why do you think, I wonder if Newsom slow walking all that has anything to do with the redistricting he's trying to do. I mean, did y'all see that? He's trying to get, according to California Constitution, They have to have an independent group come in to redistrict California, and Newsom is trying to push it in by Friday to get his, and of course it's all a pushback. I mean, come on, California flipped, the counties that, of course we all know it's all hype anyway, that California really is probably red. You may have a few places that are blue or purple, but they cheat. I mean, I've repeated more than once how when I went to go vote, and they said you could vote the same day that you register, and that you can register whenever, during the election season. And when I even took my driver's license, even though it wasn't a California driver's license, to show that I have real ID, right? And to show that I am a U.S. citizen. And the lady wouldn't even take it. She says, "Oh, I don't need that." I had it. I mean, and I had it sitting there. I mean, it's on full view, and she had me sign an affidavit, and she asked me if I'd gone to the California DMV. It's like, no. And I got a little bitty receipt, one of those. If you go to a restaurant, those how they used to do those old pads. They write down your order, and you get the little number at the bottom. They tear off the bottom. I got one of those, and I wonder if it would have been better if I would have gone ahead and did the machine. Instead, I said, I want to do paper ballot. Well, she gave me a provisional ballot. I was able to vote for president. I was able to vote for vice president. I was able to vote for Congress, whether or not I wanted to vote for Steve Garvey or Schiff. And then I was able to vote on the propositions. And it's funny how the propositions got passed, the ones like they lowered the felony, they lowered the felony of shoplifting from 900 to 450. So anything over $450 is dollars of, if you go and steal that much, then you could be arrested. And it wasn't long that some girls did that, and they messed around and they found out. And I put the ballot, I put it in the little blue box, like I said. And California has they call it a ballot tracker, and it lets you know when they receive the ballot, and it's supposed to let you know when they've recorded your vote. I never got confirmation that they recorded my vote. They just saw, it just said that they received, that I voted, but not that they actually recorded my vote. And so that makes me wonder if I shouldn't have gone ahead and used the machine. And of course, it took them 30 days. They were like, we're still counting after 30 days. That's crazy. And so we know that California is not blue. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, anybody with half a brain can know that. And so, I don't know about you guys, but I know I say it a lot. I guess I'm getting battle fatigue because I am so tired. I'm glad President Trump is cleaning up DC. I'm glad he's, which talk about DC. What's with all of these states sending their National Guard to DC? Did anybody notice that? I think there's like 4 or 5 states that have sent the National Guard to DC. It kind of makes me wonder if there's not some hidden agenda on that. Are they actually there to, you know, the writing, if it comes down, if it comes known that some of these people are arrested, or if it comes like, I mean, I wonder if that's to keep the paid protesters, the paid rioters in check. I wonder. I mean, I wonder if there's not something more than going on that, half right. Yeah, I agree. 10 years. It's, you think about the average war. If you think about the average war that the U.S.'s history has had us in, like the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War II, the average war lasted about 5 years. You look at those years, when they start versus when they finish. Civil War 60 to 65. Um, uh, I'm just now putting something together. Think about World War II, 40 to 45. I don't have. Revolutionary War was what, in 1780, 83, 81, or when everybody started going home. Yeah, I get it. I get it, King's Kid. Yeah, it took over a century. I mean, yeah, I get it, but yeah, but I'm not. I still think that there's more to what's going on with the National Guard being deployed to DC. I'm not saying that the helping ICE is not a one of the reasons, but I'm thinking that there's something else going on. When does Congress come back into play? Is it at the end of August, after Labor Day is when Congress? So we still got another week. I know we don't predict. I mean, it doesn't do good to predict dates. Uh, I know it's just, gosh. I hope it's before the end of the year. I mean, of course, I say that every year, that I hope it is. Well, you gotta definitely remember it is yeah, I agree. If you take the 40,000-foot view, it's definitely, he's working, I mean, he's working all angles, and it's a good thing he's got, I just pray he has the right people to back those angles. Did y'all see? Oh, that's right. It is that Attorney General? I think in Rhode Island, she got, of course, according to the video that's out there, she got arrested for being intoxicated in public. Apparently she and his friend were in some sort of bar or something, and they called the police and asked the police just get them out of there. Apparently they were being some sort of disruptive, and oh my gosh, the woman she's like, I'm an AG, I know the law. And telling them that he couldn't record her. I mean, it was a goofy thing. Yeah, and you know what? And that's true, yeah. The National Guard has been deputized. The U.S., I don't think people realize, the U.S. Marshals have been deputized too. So that's another reason why I'm wondering if there isn't more going on besides just helping ICE. Because if these people are being deputized, it's my gut, and other people I follow, my gut just tells me that it's something more. It's something more than just immigration getting and taking out illegals. So let's see, what else can we? Let's see what else. There's some. Oh yeah, there is this here. Oh yeah, I saw that. I don't talk about things that uh, don't get a lot of publicity. So this comes out of the military. So remember the USNS Comfort, the Navy ship Comfort, the hospital ship that was used in for the pandemic. So did you know it goes out to other places, to other countries for humanitarian reasons? So the Mercy class hospital ship USNS Comfort returned to Naval Station Norfolk on August the 17th, marking the successful completion of Continuing Promise 2025. Comfort returned to NSN, was it Navy Station, Navy Yard? Or Naval Station, Naval Yard? After a 79-day deployment, providing medical care, humanitarian assistance, and strengthening relations with partner nations in the Caribbean and South and Central America. So, during CP25, or continuing, I just read it. Continuing Promise 25, Comfort conducted port visits to Grenada, Panama, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, and Trinidad and Tobago. So that's out in the Caribbean. We departed with a clear plan to execute the Continuing Promise mission. The environment demanded adaptability, but our commitment to that promise never wavered, said Captain Ryan Kendall, Commodore Destroyer Squadron 40, and CP-25 Mission Commander. The Comfort team and our partners exceeded all expectations, delivering exceptional care and expertise at every mission stop. We forged stronger bonds and honed our collective capabilities, ensuring we are better prepared to support our allies in the face of natural disasters, medical crisis, or regional conflict. CP25 highlights the U.S. Navy's dedication to global health and humanitarian aid. Through collaboration, Comfort addressed critical healthcare needs, improved community well-being, and fostered lasting friendships or relationships. From surgeries to veterinary care, construction, and music, the mission's diverse approach achieved sustainable development and strengthened regional security. During CP25, Comfort's medical team provided care to 12,616 patients across 6 countries. Aboard the ship, surgeons performed 242 surgeries, including cataract removals, hernia repairs, cleft lip surgeries, and a variety of other plastic and general surgeries. I wonder what that would entail. I wonder if that's to replace limbs or what. At shore-based medical sites, the team encountered 1,919 dental patients, filled 17,166 prescriptions, and distributed 7,429 pairs of glasses and sunglasses. Furthermore, the biomedical crew restored more than $2,235,000 worth of medical equipment, including sterilizers, defibrillators, microscopes, x-ray, and anesthesia units. I don't, oh gosh. I wonder if this stuff is necessary. What do y'all think about this? Oh, I'll try. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. I'll try and see if I can do that. I'll see if I can get it to play. So what do y'all think about this, about all these, going to these, what do you think about going through, the Navy ship Comfort, going to these 6 different places and doing that? I guess I'd much rather it do that than pay for illegals to be here. You know, our money, our taxpayer money. I mean, there's nothing wrong with humanitarian aid. So doing this type of work has been incredibly gratifying for me, said Hospital Corpsman Second Class Malachi Gregory, assigned to the Central Sterilization Room aboard Comfort. Having the opportunity to come down here and help people who otherwise wouldn't be helped, and seeing them afterward with their families, is what makes this mission worth it. The CP-25 team extended its reach beyond medical care by actively supporting local communities. CBs from Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 11 dedicated 2,571 man-hours to improving 8 local schools throughout the Caribbean, Central, and South America. These repairs enhanced the learning environment for students and staff and provided valuable opportunities for the CBs to engage in the community. It touched my heart to hear the stories of people from the countries we visited, said construction electrician 3rd Class Francisco Espinoza Juarez, assigned to NMCB 11. Naval Mobile Construction Battalion. I feel that the work is better out here because it's to help a group of people in need and improving the way of their life. I mean, think about this. You know, people are like, okay, what if the tariffs work? What if we don't have to be taxed every, you know, people are like, where are we going to get the money to pay for property taxes? Where are we going to get the money to pay this? Where are we going to get the, well, with the tariffs, they can do that. And, you know, this is the kind of aid that, you know, our military should be doing, you know, going into countries that may be weather torn or something like that. Beyond human patients and school repairs, U.S. Army veterinarians, not veterans, but veterinarians, you know, animal doctors from the 248th Medical Detachment Veterinary Service Support significantly improved animal welfare during the mission, delivering 2,267 treatments, including spays and neuters, and training 512 animal handlers in best practices from cattle farming to food safety. I was on Continuing Promise 2024, so I came here with an idea of what the mission would look like, said Special Class Shahazwaz Peer, a veterinarian assigned to the 248th Medical Detachment. We were able to make a larger impact than before because of the capabilities of Comfort and the team, especially in Costa Rica, with the 1,700 animals treated. Beyond providing direct animal care, let's see. Beyond providing direct animal care, CP25's veterinary team empowered local dog handlers with essential skills for independent animal treatment. Oh. We also train different militaries, including police forces and dog handlers and canine tactical combat casualty care, so they can be prepared for whatever happens to their dogs, says Special Class Shahawaz Pure, a veterinarian assigned to the 248th Medical Detachment. Okay, so they put this guy's name twice. K9TCCC was one of 113 subject matter expert exchanges conducted during CP25. The Comfort team hosted other medical expertise exchanges covering topics such as TCC, or Tactical Combat Casualty Care, Preventative Medicine, and Stop the Bleed. I wonder what Stop the Bleed is. For 4,222 participants across all mission stops. I was meeting experts from the countries that we were visiting and exchanging knowledge with them, said Lieutenant Commander Laurie Tantelier, a preventive medicine doctor aboard Comfort. I am also responsible for the force health protection of the ship, which means I'm responsible for assuring the crew is healthy and prepared. It is rewarding, especially because it means my team and I are able to help so many people, both my fellow service members and partner nations. Community relations, or COMREL, events and U.S. Fleet Forces Band Uncharted Waters performances were instrumental in forging connections that transcended languages with the communities in all 6 locations. The mission included 33 band performances and 24 COMREL, or community relations, events, reaching a 10,545 people and 2,358 man-hours, respectively. It was great to see familiar faces and to see what we're doing has a lasting impact, said Ensign Christopher McGann. Oh yeah, this is military. I was going to say, usually they have a press liaison, but this is a military newspaper, so that's the reason why they're able to interview service members. Let's see. So Christopher McGann, Uncharted Waters Band Director. Trinidad and Tobago was the best example because their band recognized us from 2023 and immediately jumped at the opportunity to work with us. It's a unique opportunity to see new people or new places, meet new people, and have a commonality of sharing music together. These COMREL events, including painting projects, beach cleanups, and sports days with the community. I got the opportunity to participate in a COMREL in Grenada, said Hospital Corpsman 2nd Class Bryce Rowley, assigned to surgical services aboard Comfort. We expected a friendly soccer match with the local school team, but we ended up facing their national squad. The unexpected challenge proved to be exceedingly rewarding. I built lasting friendships that day, and now I watch familiar faces dominate the national stage, cheering them on with the warmth of a true supporter. A testament to enduring commitment, CP25 is the 16th mission to the region since 2007 and the 8th aboard Comfort. These missions have been instrumental in cultivating goodwill, strengthening critical partnership with allied nations, and catalyzing the collaborative initiatives among countries and non-federal entities and international stakeholders. Comfort's return to Naval Station Northwark marks the culmination of CP25, a mission forging strengthened alliances and revitalized communities. The true impact transcends statistics, visible instead in the gratitude of those served and the transformative experience of the crew returning as U.S. ambassadors of goodwill. The enduring legacy of continuing promise, a testament to the power of compassion and collaboration. U.S. Naval Forces Southern Command, U.S. 4th Fleet supports U.S. Southern Command's joint and combined military operations by employing maritime forces and cooperative maritime security operations to maintain access, enhance interoperability, and build enduring partnerships in order to enhance regional security and promote peace, stability, and prosperity in the Caribbean, Central, and South American region. So you can always learn more. Go to the fake book and other. But anyway, I know that for some people that may just be boring, but I just thought, we've heard so much about the comfort and mercy. That I just thought that would be a interesting knowledge. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I knew the Seabees after going to the CB Museum. Okay, hold on. Okay, y'all putting links in there. I know her voice was annoying. I agree, but the CBs, and when I went to the CB Museum, and I noticed I took pictures, but I don't remember. Let's see if I can get that other link. I mean, that's, I think, what we need more of is we need to be able to, I think we need to see the humanitarian side of the military. Everybody thinks that the military is about taking force, but I really think we need to see the humanitarian side. CBs are crazy, huh? But I mean, think about it. Let's see. I forgot how long they said that they would be out. What, for a year and a half? Okay, let's see if hopefully this will. So this is this Assistant Attorney General in, was it Rhode Island? Oh, oh, come on, don't do that to me. Hold on. Alright, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to hear this. Okay, this is like 5 minutes. Oh, did y'all? I think Tim Walz got put on the hot seat in Congress, like in the last week or two. All right, let's see. Hopefully this will work. I'm getting an unstable, so we'll see.
You should come over. This is not shy. This is
I want you to turn your body cam off. Protocol is that you turn it off. If a citizen requests it to turn it off, she's a lawyer.
So they want you guys to leave?
Yes, we're gonna leave.
Let's just leave. Let's just make it easy, okay?
We're gonna make it easy. That's not.
I am. Okay. I'm her
That's
husband.
not the point. Can you look at me?
Yeah, look. We'll talk over here, okay?
Your protocol is.
Can we all talk? Can we all talk?
We'll talk over here. They want you to leave.
Your protocol is.
Can we talk?
Who is she to you?
What's that?
No,
Who is she to you?
nothing.
She is our college friend.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
You guys just want him out? Do you want him trespassed?
anything we can do.
Yeah.
Trespass, yeah. I just need
Trespass, get him out.
cuff him, please. It's the only way.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Do we want to chat?
I know that your
All right.
protocol is.
So you're trespassed, so we gotta leave now. Unless you want to be in
We're not
handcuffs.
trespassing. You haven't notified us that we're trespassing.
So
Number one.
what did I
Number
just say
two.
to you? You're
You're
trespassed.
number
Let's go.
one. Number one.
I don't
Number
want to
two.
arrest you guys.
Your protocol. You're not going to arrest us. Number two
So let's
is
leave.
that
We gotta go. We
your
gotta go.
protocol
Let's go.
is.
Let's
The
go.
Calm down for
citizen
1
protocol
second.
is if we
Yeah.
ask you to
I
turn
don't
the
want.
body
I don't
cam
want to
off.
deal with this. Let's
Okay.
go.
No.
Let's go.
I understand you don't want to deal with it,
Okay,
but the
let's go.
protocol
Wait,
is,
wait,
and your
can
protocol
you
is if I
relax?
ask you to turn off the body cam, you have to turn it off, and
talk
that's your
about it.
protocol.
She's a f***ing lawyer, so she knows.
Well, that's lawyer stuff, so that's not true. So we gotta go.
No, it is. That's law.
I'm an
What's she
AG.
saying?
I'm an AG.
Good for you. I don't give a shit. Let's go. We're going. Let's go.
Excuse.
We're leaving.
Please
We're leaving.
don't put your hands on us.
Can you get your children out of here? Like, I don't know why.
I'm sorry. What?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on, they're two full-grown women and mothers. All right.
You're just being detained. You're just being detained.
I'm an AG. I'm an AG. I'm an AG. What do you? What are you?
What's wrong with you?
What
What's
are
wrong
you
with you?
probable cause to detain me for?
You're being detained because you're not leaving.
Because I'm what? You have.
Can you relax? Sir, she's not doing anything wrong. She's
AG.
not leaving.
I'm an AG.
Let's go. Buddy, you're not. She's not being arrested. Let's go.
I'm not being arrested. You're putting me in cuffs. I'm not being.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
No, I'm an AG.
Badge is in the car. You want to go get a badge?
Let me tell you something. You're
Buddy,
arresting.
get the hell out of here. Buddy, just seriously.
You're arresting an AG. Let me tell you something.
Are you under arrest right now? No.
You're putting me in handcuffs and you're Mirandizing. You're not Mirandizing me.
Relax.
You're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it. I'm an AG. Take your hands off me.
We will get the
Take your
license.
hands off
Dave,
me.
we will get the license.
She's getting detained.
No.
No. We'll get the
Get out of here.
license.
Get out of here. Get back. Get back right now. Get back.
Detained.
No, I freaking. No.
Get back. You got cuffs?
Yep.
I'm right here. It's okay.
All right, just go from the car.
Here. No. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Get back.
Come on. Dave.
No.
Stop touching me.
All right.
Dave, I'm right here.
No,
right
beep, please, I'm scared.
I'm right here.
Please stop doing this. Please stop
right
doing
here.
this. No, I'm not gonna find hands on that.
I'm right here.
No.
Okay.
No, please don't do this to my friend.
I'm right here.
No,
Right
no,
here.
no. Babe.
I'm right here.
Babe.
I'm right here.
No.
Relax. Relax. Relax.
No,
Relax.
What's wrong with you?
Relax.
We don't want to put you in handcuffs. Let's go. Let's go.
No, babe.
Listen, you're overreacting.
You're adding charges.
You're overreacting.
No. Don't, please take my hands up. Please take them out of handcuffs. No, please
You're
take them.
you were overreacting. You didn't have to have this happen. Get in the car.
No.
Get in the car.
No! Babe, no!
You got two to say.
I'm right here.
Get in the car.
No!
Guys,
Just put her in.
No!
Get back. Get back, bro.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
No!
Get your feet in the car.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Get your feet in the car.
Get your feet in the fucking car.
Dan!
Hey, I'm right here.
No! Babe! Babe! No!
Get your feet in the car.
Who the fuck are...
Get
Don't
your
touch
feet
me!
in the car. You're a grown adult. You're acting like a kid.
Dan!
Hey, hey,
Dan!
right here. I'm right here.
No! Who the fuck are you? This is so
You're
inappropriate! You're overreacting! Dan!
Hold on. Alright, come on. Stop. Okay. Hold on. Oh my gosh. So first you didn't tell me.
I want you to see the body cam off.
Yeah, they did. They told you're trespassing. They were getting you on trespassing, first of all. Yes, they told you. And I mean, can you imagine how out of control they must have been just to get to that part? Oh gosh, guys, did y'all lose me? I got a message. Did y'all lose me? And can you imagine? Can you just imagine the okay, because I got this message that Zoom crashed. So, but can you imagine the police officers, that one lady? They're gonna have to listen to her scream all the way to the station. That's crazy. And who was the guy? I didn't quite understand who the guy was. Was he the husband of the first one that was sitting there saying, I'm the AG, I'm the AG. This is what happens when you drink, people. If you can't hold your liquor, don't drink. Alcohol, don't drink. That's all I can say. And before he says, don't tell me what to do, I'm like, you just see what happens. I mean, I'm sober and I can't even type. So, anyways, that was some entertaining, right? That was an interesting bit of entertainment. And again, I guess I'm gonna have to do something else. But yeah, I should have done a cleaning. But I wonder if they're just. So I mean, come on. I wonder what they were celebrating. And this is from Dynamax. Come on, I want to share. Okay, here we go. I'm keeping that off. So the National Guard soldiers and airmen from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, and several other states take the oath of office as Lamont J. Ruffin, Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal for Washington, D.C., deputizes them in front of the Capitol building in Washington. So they've been deputized since January 16th of 2021. National Guard soldiers and airmen from several states have traveled to Washington to provide support in federal district authorities leading up to the 59th presidential inauguration. So that's a quick. So when did this come out? It doesn't give a date, does it? So this was back. If this was back in 2021, after the. So this was right before the inauguration. I wonder if they're still under. If they're still the federalized. So anyway, that is. Let's see, what else do we? Okay. I'll probably go back over some of this on Saturday. I haven't been around last few Saturdays. Oh, did I turn? Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess I got rid of it. For those that didn't see it, I wanted to show. Let's see. I got rid of it. I have to do something about putting it back. Because my yeah. Might show it Saturday. I wanted to show everybody. My grandson a couple of weeks ago had their football season is getting ready to start, and they always start the football season with a jamboree, and so that's a bunch of the teams get together and they just have a kind of a skirmish. They use like they use half of the football field, and from the 40-yard line. And my grandson had it was a beautiful interception. He intercepted the ball, and one of his teammates ran into him, but he kept the ball. He kept on the ball. Well, I guess my question is it temporary? Can it be a temporary deputy? And like if a sheriff deputize you for a certain, it's not what I was looking for. Maybe a sheriff deputizes you for a specific task. To temporary. Where's, what do I do? Search. Ah, here we go. There's 3 alerts for specifically National Guard, so we also know that they are also we also know that it was used as NG too, but I'm sure if I put in NG there, that it would be, oh my gosh, you'd have everything. So, 4521, June the 25th of 2020 says, H.R. 7297 to amend Title 18 United States Code to prohibit the use of an armed force under the jurisdiction of the Secretary of a Military Department as a posse comitatus or otherwise to execute the laws and for other purposes. And of course, Adam Schiff, I mean, he knew what was coming up. They you know, anything to that's worth tracking. Did it ever get, so it was introduced and refused, and let's see what actions were taken. So just 2 actions. Didn't get very far, did it? Posse Comitatus Act. So they tried. They even tried back then. So to amend Title 18 United States Code to prohibit the use of armed force under the jurisdiction of the Secretary of a Military Department or a posse comitatus or otherwise to execute the laws for other purposes. So it was referred to the committee and on the judiciary. Let's see. So to adding at the end the following, notwithstanding, why do they always have to do it legalese? Because it certainly does make it harder to understand. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, any evidence obtained by or with the assistance of a member of the armed forces in violation of subsection shall not be received in evidence of in any trial, hearing, or other proceeding in or before any court, grand jury, department, officer, agency, regulatory body, legislative committee, or other authority of the United States, a state or political subdivision thereof. So that's nice and confusing, right? It's a summary. So this bill modifies provision of the Posse Comitatus Act that prohibit the willful use of any part of the Army or Air Force to execute the law unless expressly authorized by the Constitution or an act of Congress. Specifically, the bill expands the applicability of Posse Comitatus Act to all branches of the armed forces. The bill also prohibits the use of evidence or obtained by or with the assistance of a member of the armed forces in violation of the bill. So basically, it's like the military has, the military has it. So, I mean, I'm reading it, I'm interpreting to mean they don't want to use military as a possibility of a, let's see, I wish there was a way to get this thing off of here. They don't want to use any kind of evidence that the military can come up with. They don't want to be able to use evidence from the military. So anyway, let's see. So more on this bill, cost, the keyword. So worth tracking. So the Posse Comitatus Act, 18 U.S. Code Section 1385, an original intent of which was to end the use of federal troops to police state elections in former Confederate states, prescribes the role of the Army and Air Force in executing civil laws in states. Key exceptions to the Posse Comitatus Act: pursuant to the presidential power to quell domestic violence, federal troops are expressly exempt from the prohibitions of the Posse Comitatus Act, and this exemption applies equally to active duty military and federalized National Guard troops. What is Adam Schiff trying to prevent? Everything you're witnessing, past and present and future, are we at that future proves past part? Centrally, it revolves around the presidential election of 2020, when by any means necessary, self-preservation. Yeah, and that includes redistricting, because you got a state. Here's the thing: what people don't seem to understand, the reason why Texas is doing this redistricting is because when you take out all of the illegals out of the mix and out of the citizenship, I think you would find out a lot of these states, a lot of these towns are not as big as you think. They may be overrun, but they're not as big. So 4699, September the 14th of 2022. What happens when people in positions of power or sympathizers to the cause are part of that same organization themselves? What is a safe zone? I'm thinking here, this could include those activist judges, right, that keep trying to block whatever President Trump's trying to do. Why are riots conducted in specific or Democratic controlled locations? What happens when elected officials, governors/mayors, handcuff the officers instead of the criminals? What happens when elected officials, governors/mayors refuse to call in the National Guard or other federal assistance, sacrificing the lives and well-being of the community for a calculated political gain or other? I mean, that's, think about what happened in LA. Why did President Trump make the decision to go into LA the way he did? Right? Does Antifa fear prosecution? Would they continue to operate if they did? What organized groups are bailing out rioters within 24 hours of arrest? What happens post-bailout? Do charges remain enforced or dropped by DA? DA will not act regarding low-level arrests. Have all refusals to bring charges been related to low-level arrest? And this was Andy, no, I think this is when he got attacked. Sympathizer other, what happens when prosecutors, board of county commissioner members, volunteer firefighters, etc. are sympathetic to the cause? What happens if the organization and Antifa itself is aware? Infiltration, not invasion. So here we are, November the 7th, 2022. Why do some elections take more than a day to count? Can cheating be done after the polls are closed? Who controls the poll books? Who controls the databases? Who controls the elections? Why are extra ballots printed? If someone doesn't vote, can bad actors hijack their vote? How? Why do the National Guard activate cybersecurity teams? Who gave the orders to activate the cybersecurity teams? Why? To protect the elections? To claim the midterms are safe? Safe from what? Setting the stage? Watch carefully. White hats have secured many systems, but problems still remain. You have all the tools you need. Go vote. So National Guard it's not just about cleaning up the illegal immigrants. It's not just to keep peace in the rioting. It's also about the election integrity. So, let's see. I'm gonna stop this real quick. And take down those. You know what? I am going to do something real quick. I've got to step away. I've been doing this for almost 2 hours straight. So I'm going to try to find, while I step away, turn so much down. I don't know why so many Microsoft Edge just really opens so many apps, which is a drain on my computer. Let's see if I can find something to play while I take a quick break. How is everybody doing out there? Are you still with me? Just listening? Let's see. There we go. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time just in case it doesn't come up. I don't know, sometimes once it gets started, it straightens itself out. Sometimes it doesn't, but good morning, rock and roll. And by the way, I wanna thank anybody who has help with my algorithms on my Bible studies. It's been really nice. Um, it's really exciting when I see people come in. They're able to come in on when I do my podcast on my Bible studies, and it's fun. I think. I also wanted to mention that sometimes I may do. I don't know. I got to go to work today, and I got things I've got to do this today, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a live cast today, but I'm going to try. I may do it late in the night, so it may not show up until it may be like 10 o'clock or something, because right now my schedule is kind of late. So Alright, I'm going to okay, everybody should. Oh, it's starting even. I don't like it when it starts singing and I'm not ready for it. Okay, let me get it started.
Lock down all towns, everybody slow down, give them everything you have. Mask up, backs up, get your body trashed up, better do what they ask. It's alright, okay, sorry but you can't pray, gotta keep the church doors closed. No superstitions, a saint politician will tell you what you need to know. Citizen fools and brand new rules make everyone a hero now. So keep your distance, no resistance, only do what you're allowed. Cash that check, go dance in the wreck, but just don't speak your mind. Get your facts from the paid contracts, cause never would they tell a lie. They don't know me, they don't own me. Oh God, help us all. Look what we've become. Oh God, help us all and fix what we have done. See no evil, bow to the needle, didn't we turn out great? Sick is the new health, poor is the new wealth, truth is whatever they say. Expert lectures, media protectors, tell me who to love and hate. Jail in the network, hail to the Zuckerberg, head down, just behave. Liberty, freedom, angels, demons, someone's in control. Well, no way, no how, I wouldn't say it too loud, don't you know they're on patrol? Need more likes, post up, let's fight, there's no way that you're wrong. Gotta listen to the science, cause it's all about compliance. You agree or you're gone, but they don't know me, and they don't own me. Oh God, help us all. Look what we've become. Oh God, help us all and fix what we have done. Sell my info, hacked and don't know, show me what I need to buy. Sex consumption, no corruption, just as advertised. You've been labeled and I've enabled, better apologize. Propaganda, racist slander, time to organize. Shot bang, who's next, brain dead, useless, show it on the TV screen. Tell me who to vote for, gotta start a new war, wouldn't wanna live in peace. Divide and conquer, weak not stronger. Everybody know your place. Do it now, won't hurt. Dig into your own dirt. Virtue found its grave. They don't know me, and they don't own me. Oh God, help us all. Look what we've become. Oh God, help us all, and fix what we have done. Inside violence, enforced silence, mainstream message, won't you guide us? You know what is best for our own good. Anti this and anti that, cancel this and cancel that. Take it to the streets and the neighborhoods. Worship actors, food and drugs. Brand yourself, give them your blood. Don't believe your eyes, don't look around. Fake news, rumors, okay boomer. Ignorance will stain our future. Will you make it through or burn it down? Oh God, help us all. 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 Oh God, help us all.
All right, that was a nice little interlude. Let's see. I don't know. Where should we go from there? So if you're just joining us this morning, this is Deb 65. This is On a Wing and Prayer, seen on Thursday mornings, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern, so adjust for your time zone, and Saturday evenings. I think I'm getting ready to expand from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, so adjust for your time zone. Let's see, where can we go now? I hope y'all are having a good morning. I'm just wondering, what do y'all think about what's going on? Are y'all keeping track of it? Are you getting bored with it? Are you just like, are you tired of the wash, rinse, and repeat? And you just want to okay, I'll check me in when we see the arrest. I mean, we see that Shifty is, being investigated. Tishy is being investigated. They just, who is it? I can't remember if they just indicted somebody. They either indicted somebody or arrested somebody for the exact same thing that they are doing. The whole, what do you call it? The property scheme. Can't remember who it is that just got indicted. It's a bit confusing. You got so many things going on at one time. You got the illegal immigration. You got trying to clean up the, starting with DC. He actually started with LA with the cleaning up LA. And then isn't it funny how California seems to be, between California, DC, and New York, they seem to be the ones hitting the news waves the most. And I'm not saying that there's not other states being dragged in it. It's just that they seem to be, it's almost like they're the front and center. Well, if you think about Gruesome Newsom as, Pelosi's nephew, and, then you have Maria Bowser and her ilk. It never seems to stop. That's the problem. It just never seems to go away completely. It just never seems to stop. And it's, I tell you what though, I think what really disheartens me the most is when I'm on social media like Facebook, and what happens? You see, and it's the same people. That they're bots. They're either bots or being paid to put in their nonsense, because it's always worded the same way. And I would like to see some honest reactions, good and bad, honest reactions. These people that keep calling President Trump a felon and he was never ever convicted of RAPE. He was not convicted of that. I don't know about the charges, but I mean, I don't understand that. How can anybody believe that these women who accuse him of sexual assault? I keep seeing it. I say it over and over again. Have you seen these women? Look at the women he used to date. Look at the women he married. Are you kidding me? And you really believe that he's going to have anything to do with his goofy women? I mean, come on. Talk about critical thinking. Nobody, you better get your critical thinking hat on. I'm trying to see. I'm looking at maybe Lefty's Losing It. Oh, here's another one. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this one. Hopefully it won't mess me up too much. I just did this one. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay, here. This one looks like a fun one.
Blind and you want us drug, you want us poor while you get more of everything. But you don't get to tell me what to think and what to do. No, you don't get to tell me what is true. 'Cause you're just liars, cheats and crooks, change the rules and you burn the books. And so I don't believe a single word you say. You're all liars, fakes and cons, out and we want you gone. So don't believe this time you'll get away. You want us tricked, you want us numb, you want us scared and you want us stung, you want us shot and you want us bought in every way. You want our minds, you want our time, you want us framed up what to think and what to do. You don't get to tell us what to think and what to do. You're just liars, cheats and crooks. Change the rules and you burn the books, and so we don't believe a single word you say. You're all liars, fakes and cons. Want you out and we want you gone. So don't believe this time you'll get away. 'Cause we say la 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 all your lies. La 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 all your lies. 'Cause we're just liars, cheats and crooks. Change the rules and you burn the books, and so we don't believe a single word you say. 'Cause we're all liars, fakes and cons. Want you out and we want you gone. So don't believe this time you'll get away. We say la 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 all your lies. La 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 all your lies. 'Cause we say la 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 all your lies. La 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 all your lies. 'Cause we say la 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 all your lies. La 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 all your lies. 'Cause we say la 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 all your lies. La 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 all your lies.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen that one, or if I have, it's been a long, long time. Thank you for the lemon. So, and hey, good morning, Canadian Bacon. How are you this morning? If you are just joining us, welcome. I have put my links into with my Rumble and my YouTube account. Let's see. So, what do y'all think? I can play President Reagan's Time for Choosing, or I can try to find some other, maybe Lefty's Losing It, or something else. I could play some more music. I could try to play while my computer's actually acting halfway decent. So what do y'all think? Y'all got a preference? Since it's early in the morning and for a lot of people. So, let's see. Oh, dang, baby. The uniform. Right for you. I don't know. I like it. I think 5 times August has some catchy. Has some really catchy songs. What, Lefty's Losing It? Hey, Vinny. All right, Lefty's Losing It. Let's see, I can do what? They got several out there. So, let's see. Do we want to do the one that the columnist calls for President Trump to, I hate to use the word. Do we want to do that one? Oh, okay, okay, I thought it was going to be different. So, columnist calls for President Trump to be banned from Australia. Then we have Boston Mayor is a democracy denier. Let's see, those are. We have Lefty's Losing It, Tampon Tim Waltz nominated as latest male cheerleader for Minnesota Vikings. No, I haven't heard that one. We have, oh, here we go. Let's do this one. This one just came out an hour ago. Hopefully, alright, I have not seen this one, so I have no idea what it's going to be about. So let's, this will take us almost to the end. And, I don't know, part of me wants to stop it, but I'm afraid if I stop the play, like the video, it'll cause issues with my, with playback, so, let's see what they have to say.
This is Power Hour with Gabriella Power.
Hello and welcome to Power Hour. I'm Gabriella Power. Thank you for joining us. The Democrats are facing a major crisis. More than 2 million voters have left the party in the space of 4 years, according to the New York Times. Analyst Michael Prusa suggested that this isn't just a dip, but a potential death spiral for the Democrats. He said, "I don't want to say the death cycle of the Democratic Party, but there seems to be no end to this." Wow. And you have to wonder why the Democrats are losing so many registered voters when they've had talent as exceptional as this.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
We've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Yeah, America fiercely rejected those two after the damage they caused to America. But what about the next generation of brilliant minds coming through the Democratic Party?
If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, maybe it's a duck.
Democratic socialist. Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires.
Yes, AOC and Mamdani. Well, according to this expert analysis on MSNBC, these are the brave leaders who are destined to take the party forward.
Why are Democrats not, why are the polls bad? Why are they not breaking through? And I think it's a couple things. I think one is the people who are breaking through are brave, right? They talk like humans, they make the case, you know, and again, it's like Pritzker's chief of staff told me, it's not necessarily left versus center, it's fight versus cave. And the people who fight get support. And the people who cave or are mealy-mouthed or are, you know, very sort of corporatist-y, that crew, the crew that's afraid, cannot break through, does not appeal to voters. The question is, it's only going to be...
Who is this woman? She gotta be a fake. She's gotta be fake. I mean, this woman with the glasses, and I mean, is that a wig? I mean, oh gosh, I just realized this isn't Lefties Losing It. Should I continue? But it is still Sky News Australia. Should I still continue playing this one or find a different one? What do y'all think? And I apologize. It's even doing the audio and the video are not even syncing on me, so I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's on their end, my end, or what. So, go ahead and play it. Okay, I'll go ahead and play it. I think this is better than the other ones. So I saw the title, TV host savagely mocks Democrats' lack of talent as party faces voter crisis. Well, that's because their policies are just totally insane. Actually, they're totally evil. They're demonic.
For for people who really feel authentic, right?
Sherrod's never been afraid of his shadow.
Exactly.
He's always spoken his mind.
Chris Murphy, Sherrod Brown, Mondami, these people, AOC, they're not all exactly the same politically, but they are the same in the fact that they're brave and they break through.
Joining us now is CJ Pearson, RNC Youth Advisory Council co-chair. CJ, it is great to see you again. Let's talk about the Democrats and the crisis that they're well and truly in. According to data published by the New York Times, between the 2020 and 2024 presidential elections, Democrats lost around 2.1 million voters. Over the same period, the Republican Party gained 2.4 million registered voters. Now, officially, there are still more registered Democrats than Republicans across the country, but that number is incomplete because blue states like California and New York allow voters to register by party, while
I don't know. What do y'all think about registering by party? I think instead of registering by party, maybe just register to vote. Why does it have to be by party? That doesn't make sense to me when you think about it. I mean, if we really want fair and equal elections, I think get rid of the whole registering for a party. Just register to vote, and then let the chips fall where they may. How about that for a radical idea? What do y'all think? Well, good night, Tippy Win.
reliably red states like Texas and Ohio do not. But for the Democrats, the decline is nationwide. We've got experts on MSNBC telling us that people such as AOC and Mamdani will help the party and take the party in the right direction. Good luck to them on that one. But CJ, what's your analysis of this data? Why are millions of people leaving the party?
Because we're so back. Gabriella is what I'll say. But also, too, because I think people are frankly not buying what the Democrats are selling right now. You know, what we saw in the 2024 election among voters, 18 to 30 was a 20-point swing into the favor of Donald Trump, a Republican, unprecedented in what we've seen historically. And I think as we continue to see young people continue to come over to the Republican Party, come over to conservatism, we'll continue to see this gap between Republican and Democrat voter registration continue to grow. And I got to tell you, it makes a lot of sense. Democrats don't have a vision. They don't have anything that they actually have to sell. And Republicans are not just selling hope, but they're selling results. And the results are a stronger America, a better America for the future, but also the present.
Well, the Democrats are fighting against Donald Trump, even when it makes no sense. Now, Democrat strongholds such as LA and Boston are pushing back against ICE and deportations of illegals. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu has dared Attorney General Pam Bondi to follow through on her letters threatening federal action over sanctuary city policies. But to make a point, this Boston mayor, just about how serious she is, she made sure that this rally in Boston opened with singing.
Everybody, hoo-hoo-ya, hoo-hoo-ya.
CJ, I have to laugh. What is it with the Democrats and singing? At so many protests we see this being used. Is this really helping their cause?
It's not at all. It's actually nauseating here. But what personifies more just how sad the state of the Democrat Party is and that sad performance that we just watched? Here's the deal, and what Democrats don't understand is that the Republican Party was given a mandate by the American people to enforce our immigration laws when President Trump won resoundingly in 2024, not just the Electoral College, but the popular vote as well. And so this entire argument that what he is doing is not supported by the American people, or this is not what we voted for, is absolutely unfounded and completely detached from reality.
And another example of that is the DC crime crackdown, because guess what? It's actually working. Just a week into Trump's federalisation of the DC police force, there's been an 8% drop in all crime. That's according to the DC Police Union data, which also shows that violent crime is down by 22%, property crime is down by 6%, carjackings also saw the biggest drop, down by 83%. Robberies, they're down by 46%. Car theft down by 21%, which is so strange, CJ, because I thought the Democrats told us that DC didn't have a crime problem, but even MSNBC is struggling to find residents that's going to suit their narrative because locals are actually feeling a lot safer. Look at this.
Okay, so so the question, how do you vote in closed primaries if not by party? Well, that's a good point, but why not get rid of the whole party system, Just, get your nominees, you vote in a primary, even if it's 15 nominees. I don't know. I mean, it's just this whole thing with the party system. We know that the party system doesn't really work because, people can say they're whatever. One of the reasons why we're in the, my thing is we need to be vetting our candidates a lot better than we are. It's not just about the people who can raise the money, but it's the fact is, the Republican, the grand old party, the GOP, has been infiltrated just as much as our nation. These people that to vote the communist way, and they know they're not going to be able to vote, get elected as a Democrat, so they go to the Republican Party, and then all of a sudden, because they are nobody votes for them, but they're charismatic and they talk a good talk and they raise the money, they get their campaigns out there and kind of obliterate the others. So then now you don't have a choice, So there's just got to be some way, I think, to be able to find better candidates than what we have. But you do have a good point,
I feel safer. I do. It doesn't bother me at all. I just feel more military police presence there are. I just feel like I'm more inclined to be downtown more often than I usually am, especially in the evenings.
And if you take Metro bus, be aware you may see National Guard troops at the bus stops as well.
CJ, isn't it weird? More boots on the ground. It actually improves safety.
Who would have thought, Gabriella? What's interesting about this is that the only people mad about this increased police presence are white liberals who live in communities that were already pretty safe, right? What makes you think is that, the left oftentimes talks about, white privilege. Let's talk about white liberal privilege, the ability to go on the internet and say there's no real crime problem while black people are being killed in Southeast DC by thugs who have no regard for human life. President Trump is stepping in to actually show that black lives do matter when those on the left would rather be politically correct and not acknowledge the glaring problem that exists right here in our nation's capital. And so what I will say is not only do, normal Americans who actually have two eyes and have two ears and are real with themselves will acknowledge that there's a real crime problem here in our nation's capital, but also black Americans are welcoming the fact that President Trump is stepping in to make America safe again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Elon Musk is reportedly already giving up on his plans to launch his own political party, the America Party he was going to call it, and instead considering backing Vice President J.D. Vance if he runs for president in 2028. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, J.D. Vance was asked about this today on Fox News, and he called the story fake news. He says he hasn't spoken to Elon Musk about it, but he did have some strong words for the tech billionaire.
If he doesn't like things the Republican Party is doing, my advice to Elon would be try to fix the Republican Party. Try to push it in your own way. Disagree with me all you want. Disagree with the President of the United States, but don't pretend that you can make a big difference with a third party. I think Elon would make a much bigger difference if he stayed loyal to President Trump's Republican Party. And if he had disagreements, express those disagreements from the inside as opposed to from the outside.
CJ,
That's a good point. I mean, how many people really bought into this Elon Musk and President Trump feud? I didn't think they, they do a lot of this for show. They, it's, for whatever reason they do it. But the whole thing about it's not just taking down the system of the party. I mean, we're told, change of the guard. Is get people to understand that the GOP is just as bad as the Democrats, and people need to understand that. Corruption is everywhere, everyone. It just doesn't sit with just one group. It's everywhere. What was it that I know it's attributed to President George Washington, but it wasn't necessarily him that said it, but was it power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely?
I'm all for JD Vance running in 2028, but Elon Musk has a complicated relationship with the Trump White House at the moment. Do you think it's a good move?
No, I think everyone wants to be a part of a winning team, so that headline doesn't actually surprise me. I think if Elon is smart, which he is very, very smart, he would support JD Vance to be our next president, which I think a lot of folks in the Republican Party are inching towards doing. I think JD was absolutely right in his comments. If Elon wants to change the state of this country, if he wants to change the state of the Republican Party, the way to do it is on the inside, not on the outside, pushing some far-fetched agenda that the American people will not rally behind.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. Now, Trump has announced that he's not going to be approving any new wind or solar projects. He posted on Truth Social, any state that has built and relied on windmills and solar power are seeing record-breaking increases in electricity and energy costs. The scam of the century. We will not approve wind or farmer-destroying solar. The days of stupidity are over in the USA. MAGA. Look, I really enjoyed watching Donald Trump absolutely slam Europe for its windmills a few weeks ago while he was over there. But how's this being received over in the US?
Here's the deal. I think that, the president raises some valid points, but I think that if we're going to, go into this new era of innovation, it's going to take an all of the above approach to energy. It's going to take wind, it's going to take solar. And so I think we need to figure out where that happy medium actually lies. And I think that discussion is ongoing. And I think the president is listening to people on both sides of this argument. But I got to tell you, again, when you look at data centers and also the AI race between the United States and China, it's going to take every bit of energy that we can muster. So I think this issue is far from settled here in the States.
Finally, Tulsi Gabbard has announced that the Office of the Director of National Intelligence will dramatically reduce its workforce and cut its budget by more than $700 million a year. Now, Tulsi Gabbard said in a statement that over the last 20 years, the ODNI has become bloated and inefficient, and the intelligence community is rife with abuse of power, unauthorised leaks of classified intelligence, and politicised weaponisation of intelligence. Now, this is very Doge-like of her, CJ.
It's very Doge-like, and I think it'll give a lot of comfort to folks who, may have thought that Doge was going away, that it is still alive and very much here to stay. What I will say about this is that for a long time, I think the American people have lost faith in the intelligence community, but every single day, Tulsi Gabbard gives us a reason to believe in it once again. I think this move by her is just yet another reason to do so. I welcome it, and I think many, many people all across this country are doing the exact same.
CJ Pearson, RNC Youth Advisory Council co-chair, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's time for Media Meltdowns, and this week the President of the United States hosted European leaders at the White House as he makes progress in bringing the Russia-Ukraine war to an end. It was a move that even a former ambassador under Obama had to admit was brilliant.
To bring all these European leaders together, in addition to President Zelensky, that was a brilliant, brilliant idea.
There you go. But the rest of the mainstream media started to panic. According to CNN's Abby Phillip, Europeans were rushing to the White House after Trump invited them. Well, that must mean that they have a 9/11 level of concern about Donald Trump.
I think it's extraordinary that this is even happening. I mean, think about the fact that you have a phalanx of European leaders getting on planes at a moment's notice to flock to Washington to give Zelensky backup in this meeting with Trump. That's a level of concern that I think some people say hasn't been demonstrated since 9/11. And it reflects a deep worry about Trump's decision-making.
Abby Phillip, that is completely insane. Joining us now is Senior Editor-at-Large at Newsweek, Josh.
That woman is delusional. I mean, come on. Really? The European leaders are backing up Zelensky? The only reason why they would be doing it is because they're getting kickbacks. But you know what? I keep hearing about President Trump. People, they laugh at it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they're laughing at the fools who don't see. I mean, we're respected again. I remember when I was taking a American history course in junior college. And let's see, when was it? 98? Yeah, well, it was right after the Monica Lewinsky scandal with Clinton. And we were sitting in class, and the subject came up, and one of the classmates says, "We are laughing stock in other countries." Well, they thought, the classmate's point was because we're such prudes, but the thing is, we're still a laughing stock. We're still a laughing stock. Or, like I said, they're all in bed with each other, right?
Hammer, Josh, it is great to see you again. So the Trump administration invites European leaders to Washington, D.C. They were all there to show their support to bring a war to an end. Many of them were thanking Donald Trump. We heard from Finland's leader pointing out that in 2 weeks, Donald Trump made more progress in bringing the Russia-Ukraine war to an end than we've seen in the past 3.5 years. But that's not the story, according to Abby Phillip and, parts of the other leftist media. What did you make of what Abby Phillip had to say?
Look, at this point, Donald Trump could literally breathe. He could get up there, Gabrielle. He literally get up there at the White House press podium and say, "I support you breathing," and Abby Phillips and half the left-wing media would literally suffocate themselves on the spot. Because, it is literally whatever Donald Trump says, whatever he does, they immediately, instinctually do the exact opposite. But, it was actually Mark Rutte, the general secretary of NATO. Trump's actually been quite critical of NATO going all the way back to his first term. Well, Rutte actually said that Donald Trump was amazing at this meeting on Monday there. You had folks like Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer is a left-wing guy. Emmanuel Macron, no one's idea of a conservative there. Sure, Giorgia Meloni was there. Trump's golfing buddy, the head of Finland, was there. But there were a lot of liberals actually at this meeting. And to a T down the line, you really saw no one offering anything other than praise to Donald Trump, because he orchestrated here a tremendous diplomatic demonstration. The media just last week was flipping out that, oh my God, Donald Trump is meeting with the war criminal himself, Vladimir.
Oh, you missed it. Oh, did you see it? Did you see he's doing... You need to start watching President Trump's hands especially when he meets with people. He's doing the tip of the spear many times. Let me see if I can back it just a little bit. And when he does that, that's a military sign.
A lot of liberals actually at this meeting, and to a T down the line, you really saw no one offering anything other than praise to Donald Trump, because he orchestrated here.
See his hands? You may not see it very well, but
a tremendous diplomatic demonstration.
Here you go. See, he's doing the tip of the spear. Spear, S-P-E-A-R. That's a military sign.
You know, the media just last week was flipping out that, oh my God, Donald Trump is meeting with the war criminal himself, Vladimir Putin. Oh my God, is he going to capitulate to this 21st century Hitler? And then he turns around and literally on the next business day, he pulls off one of the greatest demonstrations of White House diplomacy, probably in the entire history of the country. I mean, when is the last time that many national leaders have all been there under one roof, in this case, the White House? I mean, it hasn't happened, certainly in my lifetime. I would think over 100 years, actually, if I remember the stat correctly. So very, very, very impressive stuff. But as I said, literally anything he does, no matter what whatsoever, you know, the Abby Phillips gang, Rachel Maddow, that whole crew, they're going to criticize him no matter what.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. What we saw at the White House earlier this week, that was absolutely extraordinary. But we have heard from Democrat Stephen A. Smith. He's blasted the BS that we keep hearing from the Democrats as Donald Trump tries to get a peace deal. And he didn't hold back, as he really stated the obvious and gave some obvious truths, giving the Democrats a reality check that Donald Trump has done more than any administration to end world conflicts, and a reminder that this war started under Joe Biden's watch.
We ain't gonna act like he caused this now. It's Democrats in office. It was Biden in office when a full-fledged war against Ukraine took place, courtesy of Russia's instigation, no matter what they try to say to Trump. It was Russia that invaded Crimea, and that was under the Obama administration. It was Clinton in office when you made a deal that disarmed the Ukraine and therefore weakened them, leaving them dependent on the United States. And now, here they are, having to beg for support that they're owed because of what we promised them as a nation. We promised them this. You owe it to the Ukrainians. You absolutely do. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I like spending billions of our taxpayer dollars to them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is promises made are supposed to be promises kept.
Now, finally, Josh Hammer, look, what did you make of what he had to say? It was refreshing to hear someone on the left actually give credit where credit's due.
You know, Gabrielle, it's funny. I'm a longtime sports fan, and back in the day, Stephen A. Smith would rant like that about like LeBron James or Tiger Woods or something on ESPN. So this whole kind of Stephen A. Smith delivering these political hot takes is kind of a whirlwind to me. Kind of makes me wonder what exactly he's gearing up for, frankly. I mean, is it a political run himself? He's a very charismatic figure, certainly. I guess we shall see. He also actually has some interesting bipartisan cross appeal. So he is ostensibly a Democrat. I believe he's still a registered Democrat, but he's a very moderate Democrat, as we heard in that rant just there. He's maintained some across the aisle friendships with people like Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, and others there. Look, that was a pretty clear-eyed rant as far as I'm concerned there. I think it's no accident. As Donald Trump has been fond of noting, Gabrielle, and he's totally right to note this, Vladimir Putin has a habit of invading Ukraine when one party is in charge, when the Democrats are in charge. He swooped into Crimea in 2014 during the second Barack Obama term. He swooped in 2022 during the first, and praise be to God, the only Joe Biden term there. So, if Donald Trump was in power, as he likes to say, this obviously would not have happened there. But Donald Trump also, Gabrielle, let's not forget that for a very, very long time, essentially since his very first days in the Oval Office in 2017, the left and the media, but I repeat myself, they have excoriated, they have decried Donald Trump as some sort of warmonger, as someone who is trying to impose totalitarian hegemony all across the world there. He's trying to do XYZ things, World War III, blah, 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 blah. This is the greatest peacemaking, deal-making president of my lifetime, arguably, frankly, in American history. I mean, look at all these peace deals he's orchestrating. My goodness gracious. India and Pakistan, Thailand and Cambodia, Armenia and Azerbaijan. I was in Armenia 2 years ago. I saw that conflict up front and personal. It is a bitter, bitter, bitter conflict. The Israel-Iran ceasefire after the 12-day war, Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I mean, I could go on here, but this is extraordinary diplomatic prowess. I mean, everyone from Trump to Marco Rubio as Secretary of State and on down the line there, just doing an absolutely phenomenal job, which is why if you are an intellectually honest Democrat, which Stephen A. Smith is, you really just have to kind of tip your hat at that point and say, job well done. I mean, let's see what happens with Russia, Ukraine. That's the big elephant in the room. Let's see what happens there. But on the other hand, if you're not intellectually honest Democrat, if you're just a total left-wing hack like an Abby Phillips, Phillips, well, we all saw that.
Well, let's talk about Marco Rubio. He's revoked more than 6,000 student visas for overstays and crimes, and that includes support for terrorism. Around 200 to 300 people have engaged in behaviour such as raising funds for Hamas. Now, Josh, there's still a long way to go in terms of stamping out anti-Semitism, but this administration is really not mucking around.
So there's multiple things going on here with these student visas being yanked. On the one hand, it's black letter immigration law here in the United States there, and liberals would challenge what I'm going to say, but what I'm going to say has been the immigration law for over 200 years here in America, which is that if you are not a citizen, your status can be revoked at any time for any reason, period, full stop, end of story. There was a very, very long line of U.S. Supreme Court cases holding exactly that there. So the notion that we actually need a reason in order to yank your visa, especially if it's a shorter term visa, like a student visa, if you're not here in a green card, the notion that we need any kind of a specific reason is actually contrary to black letter immigration law. But as the case may be, a lot of these folks, probably all of them actually, they have very good reasons to have their visas yanked there because they are in active support of United States State Department recognized foreign terrorist organizations, whether it's Hamas, Hezbollah, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and on down the line there. There is zero reason, literally zero, not one, two, one, literally zero reason, period, full stop, end of story, why any single person who is not a U.S. citizen who supports a U.S. recognized foreign terrorist organization should be here on American soil. I would actually, Gabrielle, frankly, go even further than that. And I would say that even if you are a U.S. citizen who is engaged in active support there, if you are trying to raise funds for foreign terrorist organizations, if you are an active support there, I would actually go so far as to say that we should strongly consider going down the path of actually denaturalizing citizenship for naturalized citizens. That's a whole nother conversation there. The final thing that I'll just briefly add there, because we are talking here about student visas, I think part of kind of this nationalist, populist, MAGA, America First approach to higher education in general is coming around to the idea that America should not be involved in the game of educating the future leaders of our leading adversaries. I think back to when I was in university at Duke University in North Carolina, a shockingly high percentage of my classmates were Chinese nationals. I actually took Chinese language for 3 semesters there, and pretty much all my classmates were Chinese nationals. Why exactly were we doing that? Why exactly were U.S. taxpayer dollars going to funding the future leaders of America's literal #1 geopolitical foe? It frankly makes no sense whatsoever. So whether it's that or whether it's active support of groups like Hamas there, I think Rubio is absolutely unequivocally doing the right thing here.
Absolutely. Josh, I want to talk to you about LA because in January we saw LA battle through one of the most destructive fires in California's history. And the disaster, of course, was made worse because of the incompetence of its leaders. We had Mayor Karen Bass and California Governor Gavin Newsom. We know that a dozen people lost their lives, thousands and thousands of homes were destroyed. Where was Karen Bass? Well, she was enjoying herself at a cocktail party in Ghana. She ignored the National Weather Service warnings of extreme fire weather conditions on January 3. She flew to Ghana on a junket the next day, and by January 7, LA was going up in flames. And of course, when she returned, we all remember her bravery and her message to Angelenos.
You owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
Nothing. She said absolutely nothing. She just ran away from the cameras, just showing what a weak leader she really is. And it was quickly revealed that Karen Bass cut the fire department's budget by almost $18 million ahead of those wildfires. The reservoirs were sitting empty, firefighters were running out of water, and the fire chief at the time, Kristen Crowley, admitted on live television that Karen Bass failed her and failed LA.
And I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs. Did they fail you? Yes.
Well, Karen Bass then fired Kristen Crowley, but the ex-fire chief is now taking legal action against Karen Bass, claiming that she was the scapegoat for the city's response to the wildfires. Now, part of her statement says, as the fire chief for nearly 3 years, I advocated for proper funding, staffing and infrastructure upgrades to better support and protect our firefighters and, by extension, our communities. The lies, deceit, exaggerations and misrepresentations need to be addressed with the only thing that can refute them. The true facts. Now, the legal claim also says that Karen Bass made multiple false claims justifying the removal of Kristen Crowley as chief, including suggestions that Crowley sent 1,000 firefighters home. Josh, how is this going to play out? I know there's a lot of anger still in Los Angeles directed at Karen Bass over the fires.
Well, Gabriella, I know that all too personally, actually. So I live in Florida, not in California, but my wife and I have friends actually who lost their home. In fact, we actually were at a wedding in Santa Barbara, California, just in May for a couple who got married that weekend. They literally lost their home just 4.5 months prior to their wedding day in the Palisades fire there. And there are all too many stories like this. It was just a horrific thing. But that Karen Bass video, by the way, where she just refuses to answer the questions there.
Yeah,
I remember watching that like it was yesterday, actually. I mean, absolutely astonishing stuff. I mean, it's so awkward. I mean, literally just like standing there, I mean, you can shake your head, you can walk away there, you can kind of like put your hand up to the camera, but I mean, like, don't just like stand there. I mean, that is political malpractice 101. Now, Crowley, the axed fire chief, is interesting because at the time, a lot of the conservative media here in the United States was talking about how Crowley was actually the first avowedly, I believe, homosexual, lesbian fire chief of any major city in the United States. There are a lot of folks in conservative media were talking about how this was a DEI hire, and that kind of led to the fire there. Now we're starting to learn a slightly different version of former fire chief Crowley there. I will be very curious to see where this particular lawsuit goes. What I do know is that Karen Bass is worse than nothing, that she is horrific. I mean, she was a backbencher Democrat in the U.S. Congress. She was in the House, and she was an absolute nobody when it comes to legislation, a total backbencher there. Then she goes into the mayor's office, and we've now literally seen L.A. go to probably the lowest point in its entire fairly illustrious actually history as a city there. So look, we'll see what happens there, but it's a very interesting turn from Ms. Crowley, who kind of went from the punching bag of conservative media here to now being something of a hero there. I'll be very curious to see that, as Gabrielle, where this lawsuit goes.
I completely agree with you about your assessment of Karen Bass. You know, what she's done even since then. She's been against ICE while there have been riots in Los Angeles a few months ago. She was insisting they weren't violent, and we just saw so much violence being played out. She's such a joke. And frustratingly, rather, for residents in LA, Karen Bass is delaying the after-action report on the Palisades fire, and she's delaying it until the ongoing federal investigation into the cause has been completed. But people in the community are just so sick of this, sick of the delay, and need answers about the city's response. It's been 7 months now, and they're still waiting.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to do this other than just pure obfuscation, right? I mean, she can kind of claim this procedural reason over waiting for the feds to release XYZ thing before we release our local finding there. That is a total red herring. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever why the municipality of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles, cannot release their findings prior to the Trump Pam Bondi DOJ. That frankly makes no sense whatsoever. But by the way, Gabriella, I think it's probably an appropriate time to remind the audience here, you know, this is actually not the only fire in recent years here in America that we are still awaiting some sense of an explanation here. I mean, it was the Maui, Hawaii fire roughly 2 years ago in the year 2023, where, if I'm not mistaken, that was by some estimates, because we actually still don't know how many people died in the Maui fire. Some people estimate that was actually the single deadliest fire in American history, at least since the Great Chicago Fire of the late 1960s.
I thought the Maui fire was last summer, like a month or two before the mountain fire in California. It seems like they kind of came back to back. I didn't think it was that long ago, is it? And as for Putin, you know, people failed to connect the dots with. He's been taking down the traffickers. He's been taking down, you know, he stopped allowing Russian children to be adopted out to U.S. Now, why would he do that? You know, what would be the reason? I mean, is he a dictator, or is he trying to protect the kids? You know, everybody remember the soccer ball that he threw to, was it First Lady Melania in the first administration? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't know if he's Putin 2.0. I don't know, you know, his background. But based on what we've seen, is he really, it's like these dictators, they're, even the people who kind of know better is like, oh, they're not good guys. I'm not saying they're good guys, but they're not the devil incarnate either. So, August the 23rd. Oh, okay. Well, you want to link to the video? I'll see what I can do. It may take me a while after I get done. Yeah, I can do it. But anyway, I got about 10 more minutes. I don't know if I want to finish this or not, or if I just want to go do some wow, it's hard to believe it's been that long ago. August of 2023. Wow. So it's been 2 years. So do we want to finish this, or do we want to do something else? Because I got about 10 minutes, and I tell you what, I want to stop this. So for those who are just joining us, good morning, everybody. Let me get this link. So this is Sky News Australia. Is just a different host. She oh my gosh, I can't. I see these stupid people. I see these stupid news articles. There's a it's from Newsweek. Gavin Newsom's redistricting ballot measure chances of passing. It's a new poll. I mean, who pays attention to polls? I don't. I'm tired. I'm just tired of the people. I'm tired of the stupidity. I'm sorry. I know that's not a nice thing to say about people, but I'm tired of the stupidity of the people that just don't get it. Great. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring it up. I don't know what it is about this. Hold on. Yep, polls are manipulation tools. Yes, that is it. Thank you, Sons of Liberty. I did not have to do that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kimmy. There's your link right there. So, Kimmy K, there's your link. Alright. Oh my goodness, what a night. What a morning. But, so anyway, thank you guys for being here. Let me see. Oops, I keep forgetting I can't do that. Okay, I can't. Alright, I get it. I cannot do that. So what can we do? Oh, I know one I've been wanting to play for a while. So, Oh goodness. Oh. You know what? I think what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna give you kind of a sneak peek into my Rumble, or not my Rumble, but my YouTube studio. So here is part of my YouTube studio. So I have my videos. I need to load some videos. These are just replays of the different shows. These are my Bible study shows. I have playlists. As you can see, I don't get a lot of traction on my views, but I have Journey Through the Bible. This is the live stream replay on my Journey Through the Bible. And so I've got all these. These are live stream. These are actually me doing real streaming. And I do it through Rumble. So if you get a chance, and you, I mentioned earlier that I didn't do one today because I had to go in. It was a long day today, and tomorrow or later this afternoon. Later this afternoon, I am liable to do probably 10 o'clock later, 10 p.m. By the time I get in from work, it's going to be, by the time I get in from work, it's going to be late if I do it. And so, go to my YouTube or go even to my, go to my YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you need to do. And see, there it is. This is the one I've been wanting to do for a while. So, yeah, I saw that. Yep. President Trump is revoking the license of the employer who hired an illegal alien. I need to get pictures of you remember the pot farm that was raided about a month ago? I need to get pictures. They're still working that farm. Someone's working it. That whole area. I tell you what, the whole agriculture area in this agricultural land in this area they're doing something different. It's not the same. It's like they're cleaning. I mean, they're literally cleaning the land out. It's different. I can't really put my hand on it, but it is definitely, it's being cleaned out in a interesting way. And so, anyway, all right. Let's wake people up with the battle hymn of the Republic. Okay, well, let's see. I'm not sure who is coming on to fill in for me, but I just remembered something. I can't do that, can I? Can't I minimize? Great. How do I get? There we go. Alright, that's what I want to do. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to get. Alright. Oh my goodness. I wanted to show you this, guys, before I got to think about what Chris was saying, and not to be eaten is on your bucket list. Yeah, I'm not a big fan about getting eaten either. So, hold on. Let's see. See if I can get this up. Not come out. Oh, there it goes. So, Chris, we were talking about, because I got to thinking about, I can't stay up much longer because I'm having to get used to all over again. My grandson started school, and so I'm going to have to get used to getting up early in the morning and then going to work again. And so this year, everything with the school district's all different because of the grants that they were getting are not the same, or they're not getting the grants like they were. And so that means, so right now they're not giving me the hours, but I'm going to have to get used to it. Let me see if I can find. Okay, here's my messages. Okay. Let me. Okay. How do I stop it? Okay, I'm going to share this with you guys, and this is a quick, just a really, really quick 2-minute explanation. Let's see if this will work, on how these financial corruption happens. All right.
Just use an earthquake. What? Yeah.
Hold on.
Option is easy. Just use an earthquake.
Stop it. All right, let's try this again. Oh, wait a minute. That's the... All right, that is the volume. Okay, let's... All right, here we go.
Option is easy. Just use an earthquake. What? Yeah, let's say you're a politician who stole a of tax money. To hide this, we'll need to funnel it. How do we do that? It's simple. Just start a charity as a cover-up. Won't people suspect anything? They won't, because the best time to steal money is during a crisis. If a hurricane, earthquake, or war breaks out, that's your golden opportunity. You'll set up a charity and announce that you're raising money for disaster victims. What do I do then? Now, the government and the public will start donating to your charity. Once you have that money, it's time to spend it. So we'll actually help people? No. Who wants to do that? We'll fake it instead. What? How does that work? Okay, look, let's say you report that you delivered 100,000 meals to disaster victims. In reality, you only delivered 10,000. The other 90,000 meals exist only on paper, but the money for them goes straight into your account. Won't people notice the missing supplies? Not if we inflate the prices of everything. What do you mean? Instead of stealing money directly, we hire fake suppliers to charge 10 times normal prices. A tent that should cost $100 is shown as $5,000. A bottle of water is purchased for $50 each. A $500 generator is reported as a $20,000 emergency energy system. All that extra money goes straight to you. Won't the public ask where the money went? That's why we'll do a little bit of charity. We'll hand out food and supplies to a few people, enough for a good PR stunt. We'll invite news crews, take pictures of suffering children, and tell them we're saving lives. But we stole most of that money. Exactly. But now, we look like heroes. What happens when people start investigating? By then, the money is already gone. We move it through offshore accounts and fake shell companies. What if we get caught? We blame it on accounting mistakes or say we were tricked by bad suppliers. Worst case, we shut down the charity and just start a new one. It's that easy. Just like that, we laundered millions through a fake charity.
So this video does not advocate or support any criminal activity. Every action portrayed is purely hypothetical and for informational purposes only. The thing is they're not wrong. Do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when what's the name of that charity? It was a Somalian charity. It was Feed the something, where they got, they supposedly were feeding these children, and turns out that they weren't, that they're going back in their pockets. That is what I'm talking about. The idea that, because I work in the kitchen at the school, right? And one of the things we got to do, we got to take count. And it's kind of like the kids come in, it's like you can't make them eat it, but we have to hand it to you. So right there, you got food going to waste. So we have, it's paid for, the food is paid for, but if the student doesn't want it, we can't make them eat it, but we have to give it to them as part of the count. So, it's crazy, it's dumb, it's just, it's out there. So, anywho, I don't know, I don't know, I wonder if I just thought of that. Like I said, I don't know if so I'm going to have to get used to getting up early again and taking him to school before I have to go into work. And so it's going to make a long day. So I'm not going to be able to, I can't do a 5-hour show. So, I do want to do another show quickly. Alright, and so I'm going to put out my links again. So, help me break the algorithms on Rumble and YouTube, if you will, please. I greatly appreciate it. And for those that have sleep type, those that have helped me, and in any way you can with going to my Rumble and everything, and following me, everybody who's done that, I greatly appreciate it. And I definitely cannot type. Okay. I'm gonna do one more song, I think, and then I'm sure it won't be long before someone comes in and takes over. I got permission from the bosses, so, or the, so for those who stuck around, I appreciate you sticking around. I think I appreciate the kind words that are put out there. Yeah, and by the way, for those of you who want to criticize, why don't you come out and try to be a show host and do it like at 3 o'clock in the morning? You know, I like the people who like to criticize. I mean, we could use some more hosts out there here that can, I mean, we got a lot of show hosts. There's battle fatigue going around, and we could use some hosts out there. Let's see, what's a good song I can... Thanks, Tennessee Walker. Let's see what we got. What can I go off with? Let's do this one. I think I'm gonna end with this one. Let's wake people up. Wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Well, I've been well, I'm wide awake. Won't take your brand, I'm not your slave. You serve your God, Lord of the flies. I pity you and you mean mine. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. Your bloody mouth unsatisfied. God sees the trap you set for me. He'll not be mocked, I will be free. We will not bend. We will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender, never surrender. Your fear will not make me behave. I won't march in your masked parade. Your hollow threats won't shut me up. I won't bow down, enough's enough. You say you'll give us what we need, as if you own the air we breathe. Stand up 100 million strong. Thought we'd lie down, well you thought wrong. We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down, never surrender, never surrender. Oh, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus with me every step. Just keep going, keep on going. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus closer than my breath. Just keep going, keep on going. We will take? How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give in, never give up, never back down. We'll never give in, never give up, never back down. We'll never give in, never give up, never back down. Never surrender. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus with me every step. Just keep going, keep on going. Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus closer than my breath. Just keep going, keep on going.
So 1 Samuel 2, 9 through 10, New King James, he will guard the feet of his saints, but the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength no man shall prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken in pieces. From heaven he will thunder against them. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. So, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, dance, sing, laugh, pray, and then, of course, vote for President Trump. So, guys, with that being said, I'm going to have to sign off. Like I said, I just can't do 5 hours. Not when it's like this early in the morning. So, anyway, for everybody who's just joining in, this is On the Wing and a Prayer. This is Patriots Soapbox. Y'all have a great and blessed day. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep praying. My prayer now is for God. I want God to show his glory. That's what I want. I want him to show his glory. I want people to... Oh gosh, I could go on another rant for another hour or two, but I need to go to sleep. But I get it. People don't necessarily believe, but there's so many out there that are get these false ideas of who God is, who Jesus is. So this is the reason why I do my Bible studies. It's so people could understand his character. And we got to, anyway. I'm going to end up talking another 2 or 3 hours, and I need to go. Well, it's not changed 2024 to 2028. Yeah, well, it's not, so. I'm just afraid if I can't because I can't start a video because my computer's in my bedroom, and I wouldn't be able to sleep from the light from the computer. So, anyway, with that being said, everybody have a blessed morning, and y'all enjoy your day, enjoy the weekend. Have I had monkey bread or made monkey bread? No, I'm not a cook. I don't bake. That's funny that they got me working in the kitchen at school, but I don't bake. Susie Homemaker, I am not. That's coming from somebody who all that she wanted to do was be a wife and mother, but no, I'm not Susie Homemaker. So, guys, y'all have a good morning, and I'll see you in the funny papers.